Hello there my fellow holotable heroes and welcome to another Datacron video. So we do have a new set coming into the game very soon. So in this video we'll have a look at focus Datacrons and see are they actually worth going for this time. Because focus Datacrons can be a bit broken, so we'll see if that's the case today as well. So we're gonna hop over to the SWGOH website where we have all the data mine available already. So I'm just gonna go through one focus Datacron at a time and then we'll just see what they can do for us. Again, YouTube chapters will be below if you do want to skip ahead to a particular cron. Otherwise, we'll start off with Admiral Raddus. I won't show the stats, we'll just have a look at the total stats at the end of the Datacron. For now, I'll just go, I guess, through the actual levels. Level 3, light side allies have 100% critical chance while attacking out of turn. Okay, I guess, but nothing too crazy there, I think. Level 6, at the start of each Rogue One ally turn, if they have not taken damage, they gain critical chance up, offense up. Yeah, but sounds nice, but Rogue One again? All the damage is coming from exposes, right? So, offense up? I don't know. Let's go ahead and have a look at level 9. Alright, so we got Jean on level 9. So whenever Jean critically hits an enemy, she will gain critical damage, defense, penetration, offense, stacking. Okay, a little bit of damage extra from Jean, but again, exposes are really... the damage is coming from exposes and the big hit, right, for Raddus once download progress complete. But I guess a little bit of extra damage could help. But again, nothing too crazy so far. Level 12, let's see what's going on here. Whenever K2 attacks out of turn, he deals bonus damage. I mean, even with 150% bonus damage, K2 will still be hitting like a wet noodle. Will inflict offense down, healing immunity, however that can be cleansed. Cannot be resisted though, so I guess could be helpful somewhat. And whenever K2 loses a taunt, he removes 50% turn meter from all enemies. Inflict blind, which can't be evaded or resisted. Now this is a nice one, right? Because the way K2's taunt works, I think when he gets hit, right, then he loses the taunt. So I think that could be quite a powerful mechanic there with K2. And finally, level 15. At the start of encounter, Admiral Raddus is in the leading slot, then all allies are Rogue One. Inflict defense down. Expose for 2 turns at the start of the battles, that's going to be very nice, which can't be evaded or resisted. And whenever Admiral Raddus uses basic, he calls another random rogue ally to assist. And most importantly, Raddus can't be defeated while K2 is active. So he thought that Jean Raddus cheese was strong. This is gonna be very interesting, right? Because you can't kill off Jean until you kill off Raddus, but now you won't be able to kill off Raddus until you kill off K2. It's definitely pretty free. This could be a very powerful cheese mechanics to use on offense. On defense, I don't know, but definitely I think on offense, Raddus could do something. So overall, aside from level 12 and level 15, not a whole lot really going on here for Raddus. And let's have a look at total stats. So you get 50% health boost, that's nice, 20% potency only, 25% crit chance, 75% crit damage, 55% tenacity, and 25% health steal. So overall stats, aside from 50% health, a bit underwhelming. I would love to see actually, instead of crit chance or health steal, like another 50% protection on top of the 50% health, just to, kind of offset those health percent based effects like death mark and things like that if you're going up against Riva. So, I don't know, will this be enough to take down a Riva? If not, I don't know, this cron almost seems like it's not gonna do a whole lot stat wise or as well the bonuses wise. So okay-ish Datacron, but I don't know in K1 will it get to see much use at all. Then let's have a look, see if the next one is better. So the next one is actually Dark Side, but it's really should really be tagged as like Imperial Trooper 1. I don't know why it's tagged Dark Side. Now, in terms of levels, let's go first through for the bonuses. So, level 3 is meh. Whenever Darkseid they use special ability, they gain evasion up, health steal up, health up. Yay! And level 6, whenever Imperial Trooper allies are revived, they gain 25% turn meter. Protection over time. Reduce cooldowns by 1, all allies recover 50% health and protection, dispel all buffs on all enemies, and inflict buff immunity on them for 2 turns. So the only, like if you're going for a full Imperial Trooper lineup, right? Iden, I guess Gideon's got a revive as well, but I think Gideon himself is not an Imperial Trooper, but I guess could still have some utility there. Heck, under Lord Vader you could put like Short Trooper, but now Lord Vader's got his dark clones, right? So I don't know. Let's keep reading. Not convinced yet with this Datacron either. Level 9. Whenever Stormtrooper is dealt damage, they reflect 50% damage back. Now we had these damage reflections before. I'm not sure did we ever have 50%. Is it Caloran back at the moment has 20%? While they sound great, I don't know, in practice they don't do a whole lot. However, 50% I think is a bit more than the usual. It's definitely an interesting one, I guess. Level 12. So this is basically the Barris Cron, right? But for troopers. The first time Rage Trooper is defeated, if there's at least one active ally revive, all other defeated allies and other allies recover 100% health, protection, gain 100% turn meter, 100% offense until end of the battle. So this sounds powerful, but it seems like Admiral Raddus, like Imperial Trooper, at least in K1, they don't get a whole lot done. So will this be enough to like shave off, you know, one part? I don't know, but definitely, you know, slowly things are building up here. Level 15, Iden. At the start of the encounter, Iden taunts, which can't be dispelled or prevented until she's defeated. Okay, that's interesting actually, because obviously she can't be defeated while she got allies, but now it's almost like you don't want them to bring in a tank, do you? Or at least not Short Trooper for the pre-taunt. Whenever another non-droid Imperial Trooper is defeated, she taunts, which can't be dispelled or prevented until she's defeated. Huh. See, all of this sounds cute, but if you put this on defense, Admiral Raddus will prevent revives, right, versus Empire. So pretty sure Admiral Raddus, especially now that he will have Datacron as well, will walk over this squad anyway. So what really is the purpose of this team if Admiral Raddus beats it easily? That's the question, isn't it? So I don't know. I mean, it's enough, I guess, to stop a Wampa solo, but not enough to stop Admiral Raddus, I think. Especially Raddus getting his Cron. How about stats? Can stats redeem this Datacron? Let's see. So the total stats, 90% health. Now that's more like it. 20% potency, 65% defense, 50% tenacity, 30% critical damage, and 45% critical chance. So I don't know about you, but 90% health sounds juicy. Almost feels like better use it somewhere else, if you ask me, rather than with Iden. But we'll have to wait and see. But at least 90% health, like, you know, Malgus benefits from that, Bane benefits from that, so it's at least more useful stat-wise than the Admiral Raddus Cron. So at least that, I guess. But yeah, partially I'm even less impressed with Iden than with the Raddus. Jawas again? Looks like CG is really trying hard to make Jawas happen. Let's see what their Cron is bringing. Will it be more useful than the previous Java Quill IG Cron that we had? That's actually expiring in a week's time, right? Level 3. Oh, that's the long one, isn't it? We've had this before, I think. So Jawa allies gain 100% bonus protection. So it's sort of like their Galactic Challenge modifier, isn't it? They inflict provoked. Whenever Java inflicts a debuff, Jawa allies gain foresight. Whenever an enemy is inflicted with a thermal detonator, Jawa allies gain defense, offense. Okay. At the start of each journey, Java has 50% less health. Damage they receive is reduced by 75%. Okay, so lots of durabilities for Javas, okay. Whenever enemy takes damage from a thermal detonator expiring which can't be evaded, Java allies recover 5% health protection, 5% thermometer, and that enemy is inflicted with additional thermal detonator which can't be dispelled, evaded, or resisted. So this is the only instance of thermal detonators that can't be resisted. But if you start off with tenacity up, they can't at all get the debuffs on you, right? So, alright. But definitely these claws, actually seeing it makes Jawas very durable. So potentially they could do some damage, but again, Hybrid 1? Ooh, who will they take down from what we see on defense? Okay. They could definitely be, I guess, good banner sniping team though. Maybe level 6, Chief Nebbit calls allies. Whenever Chief Nebbit calls allies to assist, you know, that's with his special ability, I guess he calls it's like 2 Jawas or something. He recovers 10% health and protection whenever an enemy is inflicted with thermal detonators. Yep, again, can be resisted. And then level 9. At the start of Java Engineer turn, they reset their cooldown and lose 5% health for each turn. Okay, so that's basically the same what we've got now for Captain Tower. So we'll just allow Java Engineer to keep spamming its special, keep feeding thermometer to the squad. Which again, I'm not convinced that's a good thing, because with Javas, you don't want your guys to take in turns. You want enemies to be taking turns and keep hitting you, so they stack thermal detonators. So, I don't know. Aside from level 3, everything else seems a bit lackluster in my opinion, but let's see what stats at least we're getting. 70% health, alright, more durability, we like that. 80% offense, 50% armor pen, but what does offense and armor pen have to do with thermal detonators, right? And finally 50% critical avoidance. The first response is like, where's potency? Aside from that level 3 thermal detonators that can't be resisted, all the other instances of thermal detonators can be resisted. So if you don't give people like 150% potency, like, I'm a bit perplexed here. I don't know, will this be enough to make Javas do something in Kyber 1? Like, who puts General Grievous or Mothma on defense these days? Like, I don't know. Maybe on offense you could probably cheese your way through with something, but on defense, I don't know. Alright, let's see our fourth and final Datacron. Can it redeem the current set? Let's go and have a look. Level 3. At the end of the turn, Separatists gain defense penetration up of sub. Better to gain at the start of the turn, right? But because if you don't survive your next turn or you get stunned, what use will that be? Well, okay, I guess at least something. Level 6, whenever an enemy is stunned, Dooku takes a bonus turn. So let's say we have a Separatist lineup. Who's got stuns? Dooku's got stun, right, on his special. So you do his special, you get a bonus turn. Then his basic can double tap, and each tap has 50% chance to stun. So if you land another stun, you get another bonus turn. Right? You've got mass assist from Trench. Again, possibly Duke stunning somebody on his basic. He gets another bonus turn. And then he can use his special again. So if you're landing those stuns on basics, Dooku could be taking like, you know, a lot of turns. Okay, interesting. Level 9. Newt Gunray gains 15% turn meter when other allies use special ability. Alright, a little bit of more turns for Newt, I guess, but yeah, nothing too crazy. Level 12. Whenever another ally uses an ability, Jango Fett assists, dealing 50% more damage. Ooh, that sounds really nice. And then finally, level 15. Non-droid Separatist allies start the encounter with tactical supremacy for 2 turns. Whenever Separatists gain a stack of heal over time, they gain stacking critical chance, whatever. Whenever Separatist allies gain a stack, they gain stacking defense. Okay, for the rest of the encounter. Whenever Admiral Trench uses his basic, call all other allies with repost, but only Dooku got repost. But I guess more ways to call Dooku to cease, more ways for Dooku to potentially stun someone, more ways for Dooku to gain bonus turns. Alright, whenever Trench shocks against protection. You know what? This all sounds cute. Same like Iden, but there's no Daisy immunity. You know when Trench had the level 9 Datacron Daisy immunity? Cannot use Bad Batch. So all these cute things that these guys can do, if Bad Batch can daze you, stun you. Well, I guess there's what in there for the dispel a little bit, but I don't know. Let's have a look at the stats. 30% offense, 55% health, 50% armor pen, 55% crit avoidance, 20% potency only. We need potency for those stuns to land, come on. 35% crit damage and 30% defense. I don't know you guys, but at least on paper, focus Datacrons. I don't know. At least like Iden Cron, right, gives you 90% health. Some potential plug and play viability with the range trooper. Because, you know, his ability is not like tied specifically there. Raddus, I guess. You need Raddus in case somebody puts Iden Cron on defense. So Raddus will be in handy. I'm not sure it will be enough to beat Reva, because, you know, especially Inquisitors having their Datacron now. Jawas are interesting, but I don't know. Will they be able to, you know, do something? Probably with Jawas you would be able to find some niche squad you can take down. They could be a bit annoying on defense. Separatists are interesting. I almost feel like, because, you know, Trench can somewhat counter already Ray in Territory Wars. So I think for Territory Wars, and if you do have Omicron Trench, this could be useful, but just feel like we would need more durability, more damage or something. But so personally, yeah, I would be going for Raddus 1 just as a response if somebody puts Iden down on defense. Jawa 1 for 90% health stat. It's gonna be useful for, you know, Malgas, Banes and the likes. Jawa 1, I mean 70% health I guess is nice, 80% offense. So I guess again for the health boost I'll go for Jawas. My Jawas are gear 12, so, you know, won't get used there, but at least, you know, 70% health boost is nice. And Separatist, I'll be going for it as well because of Territory Wars. So while none of these are crazy, they all have certain uses, I guess, but definitely, you know, not as broken as we come to expect from previous sets, like the Hermit Cron, Dark Ray Cron, right? They were quite broken, but yeah, or at least the previous set, while mechanics were not that broken, you know, Wampa side, at least the stat boosts there were a lot more impactful, like, you know, 100%, 150% armor pen, 100% crit damage, 100% offense. Here it's everything like 50% here, 40% there, and then, you know, the Crons that need potency, they don't really have potency, so I don't know. Alright guys, let me know what you think about this Focus Datacron set, at least I guess on the positive side. I'm hoping they're keeping the prices the same as the previous set, so they're not going to be as much of a rip-off as, you know, the Hermit and Dark Ray Cron, because if they are, then, you know, maybe some of them you could skip. But if they keep this same low pricing as with the previous set, then, you know, they still have uses. But if you're looking for something broken in this set, probably we'll have to look at the actual set, not Focus Cron. Thank you for watching, I'll see you in the next one, but until then have fun, enjoy life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.